Online students, are you there? I have to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my voice is audible then. Okay, so we are here now. The elephant size font. Okay, so how values entered administration? So was the question. And then we started with stage one, completed that. And stage one is about the politics administration. So there were a lot of thinkers and proponents who has proposed this idea. There were three ideas in this as we discussed in yesterday's class. One is administration is not equal to politics. Then administration is equal to business and administration is equal to science. In this way, we saw the three ideas which came during this phase. And it was from 1887 to 1926. Okay, then stage two, principles of administration. In both the stages, they're only talking about efficiency, how to improve the efficiency of organization. So like the private administration, so we were only focusing on efficiency. And this principles of administration, this phase was around 1927 to 37. Here also there were a lot of proponents of this phase, like, here we started with Woodrow Wilson, then L.D. White and all. In between, there were a lot of thinkers. Same here, Willoughby. And this ended with Gulick and Woodwick. So they were proposing a lot of the so-called principles. Okay. So the so-called principles, that means which is going to improve the efficiency of the administration. Okay, in that we define a lot of principles, like yesterday only we have seen the post-COB and all. Now how to improve the administration, right? So scalar chain, span of control, like this we had a lot of commands, a lot of principles. They said that it has a universal relevancy and it is valid and it is relevant no matter what, which country it is, which administration it is. It may be a private administration or it may be a public administration, but all are same. Then came the third phase. So still this we have completed in yesterday's class itself. Then stage three. The stage is called the era of challenge. This was from okay. So in this stage, there were two ideas which opposed the previously proposed ideas under stage one and stage two. They started challenging that. There were a lot of thinkers. And this behavioral approach, we call this as a behavioral approach or a human relations approach. Okay, it started appearing within administration. The previously administration was only considered to improve the profit. Okay, they said even in private administration, administration's main duty is to improve the profit or maximize the profit of the organization. So same way, even in public administration, it is the duty of the administration. This is the idea which was revolving during those two stages. In this stage, there appeared a new theory called behavioral approach or human relations approach. That means they started considering the humans who are working inside an organization. Okay, organization is organization. It has all those plans, all those ideas, coordinating function, everything. But who is the one who is carrying out these administrative activities? The humans. So then they said, instead of considering only the machines, you're just simply thinking that humans as a machine, and you are giving some ideas or principles to be followed by these people in order to improve the efficiency. So what happened to the humans who are working? Humans always have an informal setup. Now, wherever we go, we form an informal group, no? Huh? In college or in school, we have gang. No. So in spite of the teachers asking you to sit in one order, you come, you sit here, this place, that place. They used to do or not? Nowadays, they're not doing. They're very fearful about students. And lot of accidents are happening, no? Then and there, students stabbing the teacher, running away. Even very young, they are involving in these types of crimes. Juvenile delinquency is very easy to handle. So what happens? They used to put us in order. They used to set up some rules, class rules and all. We used to follow that. But in spite of that, when the teacher is not there, what you used to do? You just go walk away some 3-4 seats. Then you go and meet your friend, sit there, and then ask the other person, please move that side. No, I'll sit with my friend for a few minutes. Then you start talking. So that is something called as informal group, which a human starts to form within an organization. So this is the idea which started evolving around administration at that period, and they started challenging that. The two ideas which was proposed in the first stage. The first stage, the main idea was the administration politics dichotomy. Okay, so they started differentiating to split politics from administration. They said that, see, politics is something where not only policy formulation takes place, but also the policy implementation. With the policy formulation, there is no politics. How will the policy reach the people? By implementing the policy. Then who is implementing it? Administrators are the one who has to implement it. They are the one, even though they have to consider economy, efficiency, effectiveness, the service has to be in a qualified manner. Okay, even though the organization or the government is not taking profit, it is the duty of the government to take care of the people, to serve the people, to provide welfare of the people. So to consider the well-being of everyone, every individual. So if it is not doing it, then why we need public administration? What is the use of having public administration? This way they started questioning. And then this was completely challenged during the third phase. Third phase, there was full of challenges only. Then the second stage, in the second stage, there was another idea. As we saw, the principles, the so-called principles, okay, they started challenging this also. Why are you saying this as principles? You are giving some formulas in the name of principles, and they are like natural fallacies. No, it's totally wrong. It is not proven to be successful in one country, and it may not be successful in another country. It may be successful in one organization, but it may not be successful in another organization. Where in one organization that requires a dynamic environment. Every people has to know everything, and this has to be in a circulated manner. So one time this person doing one work X, another time he has to be involved in doing work Y. Every time he may not be involved in the same work. Otherwise, this person cannot work for longer time. There is no challenging in job. He gets bored. So that's how they said, how come it is possible? You take a civil service. In civil service, one work is not there. You face multiple challenges. You have to work in multiple dimensions. So they asked that, how come you'll say that, we division of labor? You give only one work to one person, and he will excel and he'll become efficient in it. He's not a robot. He is a human. So this is not acceptable. And these are simply dubbed as proverbs or natural fallacies. And they challenge these principles also. And then new idea which came out is that the formation of informal group plays an important role inside administration. And during this period only, they started thinking about the so-called values. Apart from economic values, they started thinking about democratic values or social values, okay, which has to be there inside administration. Okay, so they thought that administration should carry out certain values for supporting the relations of human beings inside the organization. Okay, so this is the period where the values started entering into administration, apart from the economic angle, apart from the profit maximization angle. Then came the next stage. This is the third stage. Then came fourth stage. Stage 4. So this stage 4 is something we say that crisis of identity, because you know that in the previous stages and all, as we said previously, administration was inside political science. Okay, so we are studying it as a sub-discipline of political science. But now they started saying that administration has to be a separate discipline. And now you splitted it from the mother discipline and also the sisterly discipline. The motherly discipline is called the political science, because once this administration was inside political science. So we call this as a motherly discipline, because we challenged that, we are not ready to go along with you. We want a separate discipline. So I am going to separate administration from politics. This is how they started fighting. They started fighting. Then now motherly discipline is not ready to accept them. No, you don't want to come again to me. You left me, no. Your parents used to say, no, you left us. You live your life alone. So the motherly discipline, political science was not ready to accept them. Then the sisterly discipline, if mother is not accepting, then next, what you'll do? Either brother or sister, no. You are the good person in the world. You are the nice and kind person. So because parents is not supporting you, then whom you will search next? Next is our kins. Then you just go, administration went to management. They said, see, we are more or less like you only. We are siblings. Please accept. I'll come with you. Also to maximize the profit of the administration, maximize the profit of government. Your aim is maximizing the profit of private institution. Both we are in the same phase only. So please accept me inside. Then they said, no, you already challenged that I am not like a business. You told I have values. That is why I am public administration. I have certain values. You already started speaking like this, and this rubbish and all. How will I accept you? I'm not going to accept you. So now there is crisis of identity crisis. During this period only, so this is a phase which started around 1948 to 71. 70. The crisis of identity stage. During this period, a big initiative was started in public administration. Now, apart from this, political science and management, public administration gained huge respect in the world. As everyone abandoned, in our life also it happens. No, when everyone abandoned, then the fire starts within you. And now they gained a separate respect for them. So this started with first Minobrook conference. The first Minobrook conference, which took place in 1968 under Dwight Waldo. So over the COVID cases, is there any COVID cases reported here in Delhi, nearby the places where you are living? No. Found where? Sewage sample. Oh. I think there will be no lockdown, but we have to lock down ourselves. Please band your mouth, Dwight Waldo, because we don't know who is having that. And we have immunity. We have already developed immunity now. We are exposed to it. So this Dwight Waldo is the person who, conducted this Minobrook conference. And in this conference, they started discussing that administration has to be considered as a separate discipline, and there should be something called as social equity. This was the first value which was proposed in the meeting. So the social equity, apart from considering efficiency and economy of an organization, of an administration, there should be values also. So they begin with social equity. Okay. See, we have to bring, the main aim of administration is to bring equity, social equity inside the country. So for that only administration is there. That only the laws and policies are formed by the, the politics and administration also should function the same way, that they have to take objective decision making, and they have to act in non-discriminatory manner with affirmative action in some places. In order to establish equity, we need affirmative actions, positive affirmative actions, we call this as. So this way they started discussing in the first Minobrew conference, and from this value started entering into, first only consideration. Now value started entering into administration. Okay. So this is called, this was during the stage 4, when identity crisis happened. Okay. Then came the next stage. See, in the books and all, in some books, they used to give the same pattern, but don't study everything. It is not required at all. Only this much is enough. Stage 5. Stage 5, we call this as the public policy perspective. So now the word public appeared here. Perspective. And this was from the 1971 until it is continuing. It's continuing in this space. Even now, we are in this space only. Public policy perspective. So in this space, they started saying that public administration, okay, is more like public. I'm writing a short form. Is more emphasis on the word public. So when you are saying public, that means people-oriented administration. It is people-oriented administration, people-centric administration. If it is people-centric administration, then those values which is there, which emanates, which empowers the public has to be there. Like the people-centered values, the democratic values. Okay, democratic values especially. That is why, now the questions are also like this. No, it's a time that you have to move from bureaucratic values to democratic values, or at least there should be a balance between a bureaucratic value and a democratic value, or people-oriented values. Okay. So they said that now it is a time that people-oriented values has to be inculcated, has to be inducted inside administration. Okay. So that it becomes more public. Okay. So this how, in this period, again, to support this, there were lot of meetings. Like second Minobrew conference took place during this period. Okay. Minobrew conference. Under the leadership of George Fredrickson. So he's the one who conducted it. In 1988, this took place. And in this Minobrew conference, they started discussing about democratic values. They said, yes, it's time that we have to act on basis of democratic values inside administration. Public administration should not be like private administration. Private administration main motive is to increase the profit, maximize the profit of the organization only. But here we are not for that. We are mainly for the public, to serve the public. So we have to consider democratic values. Apart from social equity, all the other democratic values also should be inducted. And it's the duty of the public administrator to propagate these democratic values inside administration. So it's the duty of administrator. This way, the discussion has ended in the second Minobrew conference. And then came third Minobrew conference. So in between the third Minobrew conference and the second Minobrew conference, that came in 1992. Already we have discussed what it is. Louder. World Bank movement on good governance. As we all know that already we have written, no? So they came out with some 6 points. We will discuss when we are on the good governance topic. We'll discuss about this. They came out with 6 components. Okay, in that one component is sound administrative system. Okay, so it means the administration should be carried out with certain principles. Administrative system like integrity, okay, impartiality, empathy, compassion, these types of principles has to be laden inside administration. So administration should be value laden. Previously it was without values. Now it has to be conducted with values. Then only we can achieve good governance. This is how World Bank started discussing. Then third Minobrew conference took place. I'm writing MC, huh? Minobrew conference under Rosemary O'Leary. The names are very nice, no? Under the leadership of Rosemary O'Leary, and in this they started discussing that administration, has to be completely value laden. Not only democratic values, all the other values, ethical values, democratic values, every values which is trying to bring the well-being of an individual has to be included inside the administration, not only for the citizens, the one they are going to serve, but one who are there inside, working inside administration should also be considered within value systems. Okay, so they started for the benefit of the employees as well as for the benefit of the citizens. So they considered administration itself is a socially embedded process. So it's society. It's another form of society, they said. Here people come together to work together in order to bring the well-being of every individual in the country. So this is how they started discussing the third Minobrew conference. Done? Understood? Okay. So now you take some notes related to these things, then we'll move to the next. Previous slide. Okay. And another one thing you can note, sorry, I'll go, just give me one. You can also note the 1996, before this Rosemary, this took place in, 2008. This took place in 2008. Okay. Then you can use this also, 1996. What happened? Already we discussed this. Do you remember? What is it? UN's International Code of Conduct for Public Officials. Do you remember this? We already discussed in class, no? We have also written it. I don't know whether you have noted it, but I asked you to write. Yes. So now, the previous slide you want, no? Yes. Now take the notes. Put a heading, emergence of values inside administration. So emergence, how value emerge inside administration. Okay. Emergence of values inside administration. See, many times the students know when they have started writing the answers for case study, they have a lot of doubt. So they come up with questions like this. Sometimes we feel that it is wrong, but as per rule or law, yesterday also one person has asked about emotions and law. It's totally messy. Don't use emotion at all. But in case if your conscience is in contradiction with your, law or rules or regulation, even then you have to follow the rules. That I hope we have not discussed conscience yet, no, in classes. Not at that topic has come. So in the conscience, you'll be studying about three kinds of conscience. One such conscience is called reflective conscience. Okay, in which you will be using your own senses apart from laws, rules, regulations, anything. As a human, as a human being, as a natural being, you know what is right and wrong from your eyes. Through your eyes, you just assess. Sometimes what happened? Okay, I'll give an example like this. You are in a traffic signal. Now a lady with a baby comes to you. You would see, many places you would have experienced this. Having a child in the hand, the child will sleep, she will come for begging. Whether you will offer her something or will not. You will not? Okay, sometimes. Why you are offering, why you are not doing it? Job. Permanent. Okay. So you want to find some long-term solution. Okay. But okay. So that's why you are not offering it. In some cases, people realize that what she is doing is wrong. You know what these people do? There are a lot of videos which are circulating regarding this. They try to steal babies. That is not their own baby at all sometimes. Then what happened? They are involving these children. You know, those who are sleeping in the street, they're stealing and they are making them to beg. No, they are separating from the parents. And if you are appreciating it by giving money and all, he doesn't know what is the reality behind. She's coming and you are seeing. It's something, a deceiving appearance you have. Sympathetic. No sympathy. This is the problem. This is something where emotions is connected. So when a person with good emotional intelligence will try to see behind the screen, what is the reality? Why she is coming like this? Every day she is in the same signal, same way the baby is sleeping. Why the baby is sleeping all day? Whether the baby is hibernating, it's a dog or something. No, it's a child. No, it has to sit, it has to stand, it has to play. There is something. So something which is some issue which is going on. So when you analyze the background, it seems that she gives brandy or whiskey to the child, make it sleep. Now she is providing alcohol to the children. So for her own use, she is utilizing the child. You know, so she's playing with your emotions. This is how I'm saying one thing which has come there in the signal. This is how every people in your life will play with your emotions. At that time, as a civil servant, if you are an individual, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for the government. But if you're a civil servant and somebody comes in this way and they're asking for benefit, you know, then what happens? You just go along with your emotion or the conscience which deceives you in the form of emotions. At that time, that is why they are saying that a civil servant should be strictly sticking to laws or rules or regulations. You know, many times we get manipulated by the look of the people, by the way they talk to us, by the conditions or the situations we are seeing. But the reality is totally different. You know, so that's how we always should stick to rules, regulations and all. And in rarest cases, if you feel that it is very genuine, you know, when you're writing your answers, it is sometimes we cannot stick to rules or regulations. As I said, like sometimes the life of the child matters than the rule which is framed there as a medical code of conduct. You know, then you just want to neglect it because as a doctor, even then you're sticking by rules or regulations only. You're sticking to your code. What code? Hippocratic code. The moment you enter, you're wearing a white dress, not nun dress, a medical dress, white coat. When you're wearing it, that means what? You are another way of serving the people by protecting their lives. So here, even though the laws, rules, or regulations are not supporting it, you have to protect the life of the person. That is more important than laws or rules or regulations here. In that case, you have to mention it and you are ready to face the action taken by the government. Government will not leave. You know, oh, you have protected a child, I'm giving an award. No, nothing such thing. You know, here you have broken the law, you have to face a disciplinary action. Definitely action will be taken against you. But you are ready to face that because our life is worth than this, no? So that's how your answers has to be. So most of the times you have to stick to rules, laws and regulations only. In meantime, you have to think in a different way when you're answering your questions. You can say that I'll take a third approach. Okay, apart from following rules and regulations, this is the third approach. In which this way I will handle the situation. Okay, to be clear in that. Yesterday, even till now, I am receiving questions like this. So when you are writing your case studies, and some people have been, advanced stage, in the advanced stage. I appreciate it. And many are in the advanced stage, but they are not ready to write the answers. And sometimes I want to note this student. I think for some students, the parents has not named them or something. You are not been named, waiting for baptism or something. You are simply forwarding even yesterday, sir was taking my phone. No, many a time he used to give, yes, I'll correct and get back to you because I will be somewhere. Now I will take care of my company issues. Somewhere I will be talking with some person. He used to take the phone and he used to, not correction and all. He doesn't know anything about ethics. But he will just reply to you, that's just a mannerism. If you see a message, you have to reply back. And he was saying, what your students, some students, there is no name at all. They're just sending some papers to you. Then I was wondering, who is this person? I already informed in classes, don't do that, So try to give a name at least. You have a name? No. So try to do that. So there are 2 papers, I think. I have not yet corrected for them. I'm waiting. They will again message me, but I did not receive any message. So I'm again informing you. Okay. So when you're forwarding answers, be sure in that. Okay. Not every time. Yesterday, I also received an answer for second time from one person. Again, he is sending his name. I have already stored your name. So don't send it again and again when you are sending your answers. I already have the name in my phone. Once I require. Okay. Now, start writing stage 1. So what you have written? Emergence of values inside administration, no? Emergence of values inside administration. Yes. In that. Stage, no, don't write like that. So the values were first. The values were first. Not given much importance. The values were first not given much importance. Sorry, in the values, no, you write democratic values. Please mention like that. The democratic values are not given much importance. During the earlier phase. During the earlier phase of emergence of administration as a separate discipline. You have written all these, no, stage 1 politics administration that you have noted, no, when I am discussing, you have done it. Okay. So during the emergence of administration as a separate discipline. As a separate discipline. Mention the year in the bracket. Around 1887. Around 1887 to 1947. To 1947. So at this stage, great emphasis was laid on economic values like economy and efficiency of the organization. And the democratic values are totally abandoned. Because the ideas which generally revolved around this phase. Revolved around this phase are, put a colon. Revolved around this phase are, put a colon, then write. First one. Distinction of or separation of the first idea, okay? Separation of politics from administration. Separation of politics from administration. Second. So, separation of politics from administration. Have you written? Put a hyphen and write. And this considered administration should be devoid of values. Administration should be devoid of values because the main duty of administration because the main duty of administration, is to maintain law and order and to implement the schemes or programs. Or you can even mention in space of, in spite of law and order, you can mention stability of the country, okay, in that place. So where law and order and what I have said, implementation of the schemes or programs, implementation of schemes and programs, full stop. Second idea. Administration is more like a business. Administration is more like a business. Put a hyphen and write. Administration is more like a business. Put a hyphen, then you write. Again, this idea. Underline that administration should give importance to economic values rather than the democratic or people-centered values. Okay. So what I have said, administration should give rather than the democratic, because the public administration is more like a private administration. The public administration is more like a private administration, and hence their purpose is to maximize the profit. Okay, full stop. Then third idea. Full stop. Third idea. Administration is equal to with science. Administration is equal to with science. So put a hyphen and write. And hence, the proponents of this idea started deriving formulas. Put a comma and write the so-called principles. In the bracket, you mention some principles like post, carb, scalar chain, unity of command, unity of direction, scalar chain, like this, any 2 or 3, etc. you give. So here, if you have an administration scalar chain, unity of command, unity of direction, if you have a friend who is doing public administration, no, he will study initially this only. Complete theoretical part will be based on principles in the administration, okay, etc. Then close the bracket and mention. So what I have said, I'm saying it from my mind. Come again. The third one. The formulas. And the so-called principles to maximize the profit of administration. To maximize the profit of administration. Maximize the profit of administration. Okay, full stop. And they said these principles have these principles have universal relevancy. These principles have universal relevancy and validity. Universal relevancy and validity. Full stop. Full stop. Then start the next paragraph. Start the next paragraph. So all these ideas abandoned the public nature of public administration. Abandon the public nature of public administration. So around 1940s. So around 1940s, there arose challenges due to the introduction of arose a challenge due to the introduction of behavioral, you need the spelling, introduction of behavioral or human relations approach human relations approach by various thinkers like Elton Mayo, ELTON, separate word. Okay, Elton Mayo. Yes, I'm writing. Write two names. That's more than enough. Herbert Simon, Elton Mayo. All did some experiment to prove the behavioral approach, a human relations approach in the administration. Okay. Written Elton Mayo, Herbert Simon, etc. So read that sentence again. This approach, like Elton Mayo and Herbert Simon, who challenged the previous three ideas. Continue. Who challenged the previous three ideas on the basis that public administration is mainly to serve the public. Public administration is mainly to serve the public and the administration is also composed of an informal setup. Okay, informal setup means informal groups like this. Okay. So with this, next paragraph, with this, there arose an awareness. With this, there arose an awareness for the introduction of values inside administration. Introduction of values inside administration. Full stop. So then continue. So now we start introducing values. Okay. Then around around 1968. 1968, the first Minobrook Conference. The first Minobrook Conference took place. The first Minobrook Conference took place under the leadership of the first Minobrook spelling, you know, no? Should I write or I'll forward that? It's here, see? The first Minobrook Conference took place under the leadership of Dwight Waldo. Under the leadership of Dwight Waldo in 1968. You have mentioned the year, no? Okay. It took place under the leadership of Dwight Waldo. When the field of administration, is under identity crisis. And in this conference, NPA, that is New Public Administration, write it. In this conference, the New Public Administration, New Public Administration. Okay, New Public Administration. In the bracket, you write NPA. Okay, you can even mention NPA. Examiner knows it. New Public Administration was born. B-O-R-N, born. New Public Administration was born. And NPA emphasized on social equity. In single quotation, you write social equity. Okay, emphasis on social equity as the foremost value of administration. Emphasis to social equity as the foremost value of administration. Full stop. And during 1960s to 70s, there arose various ideas like new public management, NPM, new public management. Okay, NPM, mentioned in the bracket NPM, new public management. Okay, which put comma and write, which laid emphasis, new public management, which gave importance, like this you can write any word. Okay, which laid emphasis on three. You know what is three, you know? So mention that. Three. What are three? Economy, efficiency, effectiveness of the administration. Okay, three, which laid emphasis on three. Okay, then put a colon, write semicolon. Give a semicolon, then you write next one, the comparative public administration. Comparative, these are some of the ideas which evolved around this time. Okay, NPM, comparative public administration, comparative, COMPARATIV, comparative public administration. There is a topic for you in governance, no, comparing the constitutional. It's there or not? Or I'm talking about the optional subject. You don't have comparative? No. In paper 2, not paper 2, in governance area, you have that comparing the constitutional schemes of various countries. I hope I read. Not polity. Okay, under polity topic, then governance starts. In there you have these ideas, no, RPA, then comparing the constitutional schemes of various countries. You do have, no? In various constitution of various countries, not India. From various countries, you have to compare the Indian constitution. There is a topic like that or not? I am outdated. I know I am teaching ethics and environment only. I'm asking if it is there or not. See how you have read the syllabus. Please read it properly, no? So you have to keep in your mind. Yes, there are at least some topics if somebody is saying, then you should match it. No, it is there or not. You should know that. Yes, then continue. Comparative public administration, comma, again put a semicolon, sorry, not comma, semicolon. Then you write public choice approach. Public choice approach. Public choice approach. Put a hyphen and write this proposed idea of choices. Idea of choices in providing services to the public. Choices in providing services to the public. Providing services to the public to ensure quality service delivery. Okay. To ensure quality service delivery. Services to the public to ensure quality service delivery. Full stop. Full stop. Then start the next paragraph. With this, we'll be ending this idea. Then, around 1988, the second Minobrew conference, around 1988, the second Minobrew conference took place under the leadership of the second Minobrew conference took place under the leadership of George Fredrickson. Under the leadership of George Fredrickson. Okay, and not here. George Fredrickson. There it is. Okay. George Fredrickson, and which let me see and tell you properly. Which, yes, mainly focused on administrative ethics. Which mainly focused on administrative ethics. Administrative ethics. Okay, and apart from social equity, the conference went ahead to reiterate, REITERATE. The conference went ahead to reiterate, apart from social equity, the conference went ahead to reiterate, okay, the concern for reiterate, to reconsider the opinion, to reiterate the concern for democratic values, and reiterate the concern for democratic values, okay, democratic values, and offered it the concern for democratic values, underline the democratic values, and offered it, it is the duty of, and offered it is the duty of, and offered concern for democratic values, and offered it is the duty of public administrators, and offered it is the duty of public administrators. It is the duty of public administrators to promote them. To promote what? Democratic values. Okay, to promote them. Full stop. To promote them. That means democratic values. And full stop. You write one more. It also focused on improving the productivity. It also focused on improving the productivity of public administration. By relying on best practices from business or private administration. By relying on best practices from business or private administration. business or private administration. Okay, full stop. Business or private administration, full stop. Also, in 1992, the World Bank Movement on Good Governance. The World Bank Movement on Good Governance, comma, World Bank Movement on Good Governance, comma, lays stress, L-A-Y-S, lays stress, comma, lays stress, comma, inter alia, INTERALIA, inter alia on, lays stress, inter alia on, lays stress, inter alia on, INTER space ALIA, inter alia on the ethical and moral conduct of administrators, ethical and moral conduct of administrators. Now it emerged, ethical values started emerging. Okay, that's how it is mentioned like this. Ethical and moral conduct of administrators. Full stop. Conduct of administrators. Should we repeat? Over, no? Written. Okay, good. Administrators, then. Again, then continue with that. Also, the third, or put a full stop and then write. The third Minoburg conference, which took place around. The third Minoburg conference, which took place around 2008, under the leadership of Rosemary O'Leary. Some people are very happy when pronouncing this name. Rosemary O'Leary. Okay. Considered public administration as a, considered public administration or defined public administration, in any way you can mention, defined public administration as a, start the quotation and write, as a, inside the quotation, socially embedded process of collective relationships, underline that. Here totally they considered administration as an informal setup. Okay, socially embedded process of collective relationships, put a comma, debate and actions. Input dot, need not write the entire definition. Okay. Put close the quotation also. Debate and discussion. So now, and this conference, continue like that, and this conference included values like justice, fairness, equality, empathy, compassion, etc. into administration. Compassion, etc. into administration. Okay, that's it. We have completed. And I will be forwarding some notes also, but it will be totally different. It will be elaborate manner. So this is more than enough. Even some people have asked a question that what we have to follow. When the class is going to end, no, ethics is going to end. Again, the same doubt is coming. What to follow for ethics? I know what you are following. You got that yellow book from your academy? Yellow book from the academy, you got it, no? You are also given in yellow color only, no? In Karol Bagh students got in yellow color only. That's why I'm asking yellow book. Okay. So there you see, they will be giving unnecessarily lot of things. Anna, you have to only see in ethics, many teachers used to teach in Latin and Greece. the Greek language. They put PPT behind, they will use hard words, tough words, complex words, but keywords will not be there. Without keywords, ethics is nothing. So it means you are having a loose base, loose foundation, stronger building. What is the use? How will you write in the exams? So words are not important here. However, what language you have, how you can express your thoughts in English. That is more than sufficient to write any subject. I don't know about other subjects. I don't want to comment on it. But in ethics, how you have to present the answer is that only keywords is very important. You should know where and when you have to put the keyword. The keywords means you don't think there is something which is going to come from the sky and all. It's already there in our classes. Every topic which I'm teaching here is a keyword only. It's a word. It's a concept. Okay, concept are called as keywords. You get it? So when you are writing your answers, a concept should be inserted inside. Even in case study. When you're writing a case study, in spite of blunt answer, the answer is very plain sometimes. Without doing it, first initially you start like that only. Initially, no one can insert all the concept inside the case studies also, as well as the questions also. It comes over time. With the practice, you just improve day by day. You will come to know that this way also I can give this answer. So at time you can insert the concept inside. But don't forget that concept is very important, not the language. Complex language should be used here. Simple language is more than sufficient to express your answers. Then the question comes as what I should refer, what you should refer. I'm asking you again. And I already told in the class, notes I have given for concept. Every concept I'm asking you to write the definition. With that, you will be able to remember the concept. You remember it. Now you have to produce it in the simple language when you're writing your answers. If you are not confident enough, then take IGNO notes. Some students asked me, Madam, IGNO has lot of, variants of notes. In particular topic only, we find a lot of variants. Just see the topic. We are not writing philosophy exams or psychology exam. No, we are not doing any optional subject. We are just doing ethics. So those topics which is related to your subject, which is related to your syllabus, you read it. If not, take lexicon book. Very simple way. There is a book called lexicon. Know that or not? Nowadays, people abandoned it. So that is the basic ethics book, which you can read. Read the same book again and again. I know a person who read the Polity of Lakshmikant only continuously again and again for his optional also. He did not follow any other book. Okay, one book. Please stick to that. Don't get deviation of mind. Don't get deviated. If anybody is buying one book, you are going in the shop. I see, notice many students. I also go like a student sometimes inside the market. And I used to see what the students used to do. They follow the crowd. And if one person is buying one book, even though they have another book in the hand related to the subject, they also want to buy that. They don't know what is the usage of the book, but somebody is getting it. I also will get it. No, this mentality, first leave it. If you're having one book, you read it. If you're not satisfied with some topics, then go for some books which your friend has. Take Xerox of that pages. That is more than sufficient, which is not available in that book. If you're feeling that this book is better after reading, then you just take Xerox copy or make notes and give back. Don't collect books. Okay, so lexicon is more than enough. Or the yellow book given by the academy. Read it. Because why I'm saying that is, other than teachers, those books are developed by content developers. Content developers' main duty is to be up to date. Now, I don't know for ethics whether they have given examples and all. As per my knowledge, after I read that yellow book, I found there is no examples and all. Except some topics, there is nothing. They are not giving any examples. Then it is the duty of you again. So if it is coming in the newspaper, I will definitely teach here. If I have left it, even if I leave one or more topics, when you're reading the newspaper, please concentrate, collect. Those are valuable assets for you. Because every question, there is a examples, give examples, illustrate. Then you have to explain with the example only, which comes in the newspaper. And it's also connected with governance and administration, the last two units. When you're writing this unit, you should be up to date with the related to schemes, programs and all. If there are any lapses in the schemes, which comes in the article, where that page, which you call that, the center page of your newspaper, editorial page. Editorial page, you will find, then and then news will appear. One day they will have a brief description, elaborate description, discussion under the editorial page. Then it will catch your eye. Note it, read it, make your own points, have it. That's how you will write your ethics. So this is the last time I'm saying you, This is how you are going to write your ethics. I don't want complex words inside ethics. You're not writing English proficiency exam. You're writing ethics only, no. So it doesn't mean that you give complex English words inside and then you write or produce your answers. It doesn't mean. And if you have that skill, you don't want to constrain yourself. You can express, but you don't develop those complex words inside your answer. Instead, you have to understand and connect your answer with your question. That is the need of the heart. First, you have to identify the question. Then you have to connect your answers with the question. Many people, question is one side, answer is one side. So why I am saying this, correct it. You have to connect it with the answer. So that's how you write your answers. And this is how you have to read ethics. Okay, keep this in mind. And for case studies, I already told you, if you are not satisfied, go internet. Lot of sites are there. They come up with number of case studies. Take it, try. Okay, try that. Try your own answers. We have a reference. What is that? Code of conduct for civil servants. You have it. Use that. Then you frame an answer and check whether it's right or wrong. This is how you try the case studies. And in classes also, I'm giving a lot of questions for case studies. So now we'll go to the next topic. So have you received the notes which I forwarded? Not yet. I think they will forward. Already some day before I forwarded some notes for paper, unit 1 and all. That you received? Not? Unit 1 also. So what notes you have got from the management so far? Nothing. Only questions. Only test questions. And I'll check with those people. After this class, I am asking to forward them, forward to the students. Even I say that forward immediately. Okay, next topic is that what you can put as a question. So what are those which are prohibiting a person to act ethically inside administration? That is the question. Why ethics cannot be ensured inside administration? What are the problems? Why we are facing some problems, or why we are facing some things which are acting as impediments, against a person to act in an ethical manner inside administration? That is the question. So for that, we will start with some points. Today, what we will do after discussing this, we also start with philosophical part of ethics. So that we will start today. Already very late. I used to start earlier. So for this, we'll start with some points that, like the special expertise. First one, you can say administrators are special experts. Okay, expertise. Second, full-time status. Third, expanding bureaucracy. Fourth, excessive security first. Excessive security. some points which we have to discuss why we cannot ensure ethics inside administration. Okay. In this, you see special expertise. As we said that administrators are specialized people. It may be a generalized job, but you are specialized in various fields. So what happens when these people you are information seekers. Administrators are the one who collect and stores the information related, because you are the first field officers who are working in the field. So naturally, it is your strength that you collect information. What happens? These people are good information generators and information hoarders. You hide the information in such a way that you will express the information in the file, but nobody can understand what is given there. So as per laws and rules, you follow the laws and rules. At the same time, the information which is generated by you cannot be accessed by the other person. Because of the complexity of information which you provide, only you can understand that. And the other bodies, as we said, there is accountability. There is some section called accountability, where the administrators will be accountable, answerable to the questions of certain external bodies like legislatures or judiciaries. Even if these people, and there are certain bodies like CAG, which checks for corruption and all. They come and do inquiry. They are not able to understand what you have written because of the full-time status you have, and they part only a limited time to understand the information which is given by you. So they are not able to find out what is the problem inside the information. They are not able to find out the lapses. So this is a main problem, because the administrators are information generators and information hoarders, and they build a citadel for themselves, a fort where nobody can enter. Okay, so it cannot be broken easily. No, and you are not able to part with it. And even you see that RTA, we say transparency, which ensures transparency. Who are these people providing information to you? Again, the administrators, and they sometimes hoard the information when the information is accessed by the people. They are not ready to part with it. So very easily you cannot access it. This makes them more stronger, that whatever they does, nobody is going to understand. That is truth. So what happens in these cases? There is lapses of ethics due to this. And third, you see expanding bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is growing day by day, as we said, because the regulatory role done by the bureaucracies keep on expanding. Previously, the developmental role, they themselves went and they developed. Now, again, along with the developmental role, you also have regulatory role. So when this role keeps on expanding, what happens? The number of people who are recruited inside the civil service also grows. So the civil service itself grows like a white elephant, without any control. Now, what happens to span of control? What is called span of control? The command given by a boss to a subordinate. So here it's completely a hierarchical organization, and the superior will take control of the subordinates inside the department. The entire department, they themselves cannot control their subordinates because of the expansion of the bureaucrats. Lot number of people are inducted inside. And how will you keep watch about their activities? Who is doing what? We will never try to do that. So because of this complexity also, ethics cannot be ensured inside administration. The department itself cannot control their own subordinates, cannot watch their own subordinates 24 hours. What he is doing, how he is manipulating the data. Nobody can keep a watch. So vigilance is reduced here. Again, excessive security. Above all, we have Article 311 inside our constitution. It says that a civil servant who is appointed by an executive has to be removed by the same executive only. Who appoints civil servant? Then he only has to come to remove him. So we cannot simply go and approach the president and remove this boy, remove this person. Every time we cannot go. We only can take disciplinary action. And again, you see, it acts as a network. Previously, only we talked about corruption. Now we are talking about social corruption, where the entire department itself is involved in corruption. You take some department like police department, one person will not get money. All the people, starting from, SI to the inspector and the SHO, everyone will receive. The SHO is an inspector. He receives everything, starting from the smallest person to the highest official in that particular department is going to share the money. One person gets it. It's splitted by everyone. Now, every department like this, public office you take. So now what they do, departmental protection. Collaborative protection is given by the department itself. Department does not want to part away with one official. If one is parted with, then what happens? The entire scam gets exposed. So now they want to protect everyone. So they act in the case of excessive security. They don't get sanctions at all. Departmental sanctions is necessary to start an inquiry against a corrupted official, but you are not providing sanction. The bodies like CVC and CBI, even ED has to wait for longer time in order to get sanction from the department. So this is the another issue which is happening, which also make the person stronger to involve in unethical act. Okay, then legal judicial flaws. So we have a lot of law, in order to stop the corruptions or the unethical act, the illegal activity which a civil servant can involve. But what happens to the implementation? There are a lot of loopholes. Even in some law, corruption, the word corruption itself is not defined properly. So then how will you catch or get hold of a person that is involving in corruption? Now only we are thinking about the various dimensions of corruptions. We are discussing, it has not been inserted in the law. So it's in paper, it's not in practice. So here the law again is completely in a confused state. It is not properly defined at all. Law is completely, it's like, we can say that it is a barren law. We have it, but it is not useful at all. Now only very recently we defined a Fugitive Offenders Economic Act. What is Fugitive Economic Offenders Act? Previously, starting from 1980s or 70s itself, people corrupted India. They deceived the bank, received loans, crores and crores of rupees. Then they will fly to various foreign countries. Will live very peacefully and happily there. You cannot do or take any action because these people's property also will exist in India. You cannot confiscate it. There is no such law to do that. Now only we defined a Fugitive Economic Offenders Act where the person's immovable property, which is here, can be confiscated. If he is not here in India, he is involved in any scam, he has flied away from India to any other country, you can confiscate his property. Okay, in PNB scam only, we started it first. So like this way, there is no proper law to take care of this. Even the bodies which are formulated like CBC, CVC, CBI, and any other enforcement directorate is there. Anti-corruption, state anti-corruption departments are there. We have a lot of departments. Yes, we have a lot of bodies like this, but what is the use? Nobody is, they are like toothless tiger. They don't have much power to, make an inquiry against a person without the departmental sanctions. One thing, there is no cooperation or collaboration among them. There is no cooperation. You have some information. There is only competition between the bodies. You have to act in a complementary way. You should not in a competitive way. What happens here? CVC is going in one direction, CBI going in another direction. CBI is securing some information, holding it, not giving to CVC because they doesn't want the other body to interfere in their own duty. But both are doing the same. Both are taking action or inquiring against a corruption case. So this is how we say that the legal thing is already weakened in order to start the inquiries and actions against the corrupted administrators. And what about judiciary? You know about this very well. What is the main issue of judiciary in India? Slow judicial process is the main problem. You just file a case against a public authority. He gets promoted, gets retired from the job. Sometimes even as a chief secretary, he will retire. The case will be pending from very long time, 20 years. Already in newspaper it came now, 20 years, the case was there in the court, but no judgment. Slow judiciary is one such problem which we faces in India, where the administration, even though we have a lot of mechanisms, tools in judiciary, like judicial review, suits, writs, like this, in any form you can question an administrator if he is not functioning properly, or if he is functioning in a or he is not acting at all, not committing for the acts of commission or for the acts of omission, you can question, but we are not. Why? Even though we question, we don't get any answer from these people because of the slow judiciary process. So that's one issue which we face. And then misinterpretation of role. So what happens? Why we are giving misinterpretation of role? As we see, and even we can mention one more thing also here, political interference. Okay, so what happens here in the misinterpretation of role? The administrators are always misinterpreting their role and they are sticking loyal to either themselves. Okay, so what they do, see, in spite of serving the public, they try to serve themselves, the group of administrators. They think that they are co-workers, they have to support each other. It's an organization, and this type of loyalty, attachment they have towards their colleagues. So they start to misinterpret their role, and they try to protect one another. Then what happens? Corrupted officials will be safeguarded by these peoples, by the gang, by the colleagues. They think that we are all colleagues, we are working in one field, we have to support each other. So this misinterpretation of role will bring in a loyalty which is against the loyalty which you have to show towards the country. What loyalty towards the country? Serving the public. Because democracy itself is for the people only, for the welfare of people. In spite of considering the welfare of the people, you are considering your own welfare or the organizational welfare. You are showing loyalty to the organization, to the institution, not to the people, the core of the organization. Okay, this is misinterpretation of role, and they try to stick to that only. In employees union, you know how the union functions. Whenever something goes wrong or disciplinary action is taken against the corrupted officials, then these people come together. Then they say, how come you will punish? Then acting against the government. Very recently, not recently, 3-4 years before, a newspaper in one small box, a news came. IPS officers are asked to disassociate the union. IAS officer has union, you know that or not? They have union. But IPS officer cannot have union like this, the Home Minister has said. Because that much trouble they faced. They said, how come an IPS officer will have that? The Delhi Police Special Police Establishment Act itself banning the formation of association. Then an IPS officer asked, we are not working on the basis of Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. To your kind notice, I want to bring that. We are working under Union Public Service Commission. We are IPS officers. We cleared the UPSC exam and we came inside. We have every authority and every right to have association. They cannot form union, they can have association. Okay, as per the conduct rules, you can have association, not like a union. Okay, so IAS officers are having association. This issue came. So what happens? This union, in the name of association, they are also having their influence over the government or influence over the department itself. Whenever a disciplinary action is taken against a bureaucrat, then these people will talk for them, support for them. So now, this way, the corrupted officials are protected inside the system. Then it is there. Every level of administration, we can find corruption. Every form it is existing. So corruption is accepted by the people. Socially, it is accepted. Now, it's a crime which is accepted socially. So what happens? People, they themselves are in competitive collaboration. What is this? In IR, you would have studied this word, no? Competitive collaboration. What is that competitive collaboration? For benefit maximization. Benefit maximization. So India and China, if I want to say, are in competitive collaboration. IR, we used to write like this, no? When you're writing relations between India and China, we will start like this. India and China are in competitive collaboration. They are not collaborating for other things. Competitive collaboration in Africa. Now, for benefit maximization, that for profit maximization. Previously we were, why we are saying like that? Outside their country, outside Asia, when they go to any other continent, they will join hands. When they come to Asia, competitors, enemies, you shoot some people, I will also trigger the enemy country of you, I will make shoot against you. I will do all things. I will come to Sri Lanka. If you are there in Sri Lanka, I will come there. If you are here, necklace of diamond. You study this concept in IR. String of pearls, already it appeared in your question paper. String of pearls, necklace of diamond, all these are strategies used by these two countries. Now, one will fight against the other. It's a kind of Cold War only we do. We have not taken a gun and then shoot directly, both. But we do all the strategies to oppose each other. So same thing, competitive collaboration means here as China and India go and collaborate inside Africa. Once we are colonized. Once India and China got colonized by the Europeans. Now, we not say as we are colonizing the people. We are saying India is benefiting Africa. You cannot say like that. We are Indians. No, we have to be proud. So we are benefiting Africa. We are giving education to them. We are giving development to them. Same way China is also coming. Both joined together. You know, India petrochemical company and China's petrochemical company joined together to explore a well. You share some technology, I share some technology. We will both get benefit. Same way, here people is collaborating with the administrators for corruption. That is called as transactional corruption. We call this as transactional corruption. Why? You tell me why, how you are collaborating with the administrators for corruption. Huh? Any idea you have? See, for taking license, for taking passport. How many of you have passport? How many of you have license? So how you took it? So that's called as the speed money. You know, you give money to people, you receive it immediately. You know, otherwise you have to wait. No, you have to wait. There is some standard procedure. This many days you have to wait, then you will receive it. Then police inquiry will come before granting it. They will check whether you are residing here only, whether there is any police complaint, FIR filed on you. All this will be checked. Everything, it takes some time. Then they hand over the passport to you. But you just order it, and within 3 days or 4 days, it reaches your hand. Tatkal. And you know, you can also use some influence, political influence, either money or influence. Either way, you are trying to influence the other person to grant that service immediately to you, utility services immediately to you. So this is called as transactional corruption, where people collaborate with the administrators and accept the corruption, and they say, why? Why not? See, you are paying, why I should not pay? You are taking the two-wheeler, driving like a race course, then you just get caught by the traffic police. Just give some money to him. Sir, next time it will not happen. You smile, he also smile after seeing Gandhi. Although it's very a burden or pain for you. Only notice that and they will 100 and leave. Very good. Very smart law. So always you are ready with 100 rupees or 200 rupees only. If you have more, you will take that also. But you are very sure that you only have 100 or 200. Sir, I don't have money, sir. You know, you will search all the packet. You will show, see, sir, only 100 is there with me, please. These types you negotiate with the. What is the meaning? It's something you are trying to collaborate with the officials, that you are ready to give money to get service in the fastest way. So we ourselves are ready to accept it. Then how come we will try to eradicate this corruption? So corruption has become a socially embedded process now. Okay, long time, since ancient times it is the procedure. This way corruption has evolved inside our administration. And subversion, we all know that. What is subversion? It's a form of insider trading. I told that in some government departments, especially the very confidential departments like research, DRDOs, okay, and in militaries, you see, some information should not be given out. It should be in confidential manner. No, even RTA, through RTA, you cannot access that information. But as I said that some people who, for some benefits, either, cross-border loyalty, you may be residing in India, but you're loyal to the enemy country. So what do? You just try to collect the information, which is very important, where and all the military bases. Do you know that our country's military base will not be fixed? You know that or not? Except in some cases, that is cantonment area. But base will complete shift. Day by day, they will shift. There is no proper location for a base. But if you are a military officer who are there, you definitely know where the next base you are going to move on. Then you send some information to the enemy country. This is called subversion. Okay. So these things also try to, affect the way a person has to behave ethically. And we are accepting it. Right, political interference. This we all know, how political people trying to force their opinions on the administrators. They're trying, they have to guide only. They cannot force you to do something, some illegal act. So what we can say as the command which is given, which is not duly commanded by these people, only through oral where they are commanding something, do this, do that, as we have seen some illegal activities, even involving you in the network. Okay, if they are trying to go or corrupt something, they are always involving you in that, the nexus, and then trying to interfere your duty, your ethical way of behaving. So what happens? Here again, the misinterpretation of role or loyalty to the political person. You just behave as he wants you to be. So you favor him. Favoritism, political patronage. All this acts as an inhibition of a person to act in his own way, in acting ethically in his job. Okay. So take 10 minutes break. When you're writing a prelims, I don't know how many of you are going to attempt this next year. But like when you're trying practice question, whether you're fixing time and doing it, as I heard 1 minute from this person, I just imagine. How many of you are doing it by fixing the time? No, you have the habit of taking the question paper, trying it out. But what happens? You will just do it in 3 hours or 3.5 hours. You'll complete that paper. But now only you set up the timer. You take a stopwatch, put in front of you, be alert. First practice with stopwatch. Then over the time it comes for you. You just see the watch, then you will try to manage the time. Do it in that pattern, okay? Because for most people, time management is the issue. No. Yes. So we'll start. We'll take small definitions for these terms. Special expertise and information. That is the first topic, okay? Why can't we ensure ethicality? Why can't we ensure ethics? That should be the question. Then under that, if you have drawn this diagram, below this you write special expertise and information. Put a hyphen and write. Public administrators are often experts in their specific area, are often experts in their specific area of functioning. Experts in their specific area of functioning. And it is difficult for any, are often experts in their specific area of functioning, and it is difficult for any outside agency, to surpass them. Difficult for any outside agency to surpass them in their areas of specialization. Surpass them in their areas of specialization. And it is observed that, the administrators who generate, and control crucial information. Administrators who generate and control crucial information do not easily part with such information, and are too keen, KEEN, too keen to let their citadels, CITADELS, citadels. Too keen to let their, should we repeat? Too keen to let their citadels remain impregnable. Citadels remain impregnable. 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 Okay, impregnable means you know what it is? It's unable to capture that fort. Nobody can capture it. Okay, impregnable. Second, full-time status. Put hyphen and write full-time status. Administrators are often full-time. Administrators are often full-time. While, comma, put comma and write while. Outsiders. Administrators are often full-time, comma, while outsiders like legislatures, right? Legislatures, comma, judiciary, outsiders like legislatures, comma, judiciary, comma, CAG, comma, media, etc. Okay, etc. Have less time to keep watch over, has less time to keep watch over the actions of administrators, Okay, actions of administrators, full stop. Watch over administrators, full stop, and then write. They cannot seek crucial information. They cannot seek crucial information from administrators. And even if they get it, comma, they do not have sufficient time. They do not have sufficient time to process. And use it effectively. This is the main problem in India. We have a lot of bodies, we have a lot of organizations, but they don't have that much time, or they don't devote that much time to look into certain crimes. If you go to some Western countries, developed countries, you see, even if the lady, lady is around 77 years old, she dies, then they suspect there is a crime behind it. Somebody might have voluntarily killed her. The inquiry goes on around 8 or 9 months also. Even in every small detail will be overlooked by the officers who are in charge of that crime. But here in India, why so she is the age, expiry date is over for her. She went. Why we have to take this case to that much importance? So they will just drop it away. She's already has lived a lot. Enjoy the death of her. 77 years old, over. Here we don't give much importance. We just neglect the duty. So this is how in India we are not giving importance to certain things. Even the minor details matters. So what happens already, do you remember when we are discussing in the Aptitude unit, I told you there are two types of processing in the human brain. One is systematic processing, which takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And it's a human tendency who never always goes to systematic processing. Do you remember that? We always go to heuristic processing, where we already built some knowledge structures. We used to compare it. Then the moment we see the file, we see, no such thing. It's everything is perfect here. Why we have to go detail by detail, line by line. Even in India, we have a system of passing in bulletin, budget, one go. One by one we try to do. No time, pass it by bulletin. The same way it is happening in everywhere. That's why we have mentioned this. They do not spend much time to process the information in an effective manner. This is how it happens. That's why a lot of crimes has been unattended in India, is under the carpet, right? Then you write massive expansion of bureaucracy. That is third point. Massive expansion of bureaucracy, and even writes and structural hierarchy. Complete the topic like this. Massive expansion of bureaucracy and structural hierarchy. Structural hierarchies. Okay. So for that you write massive expansion of bureaucracy and structural hierarchies. So in India, below that, put a hyphen and write in India, the role of public administrators, in India, the role of public administration, the role of public administration, in India, the role of public administration has been increasing. In India, the role of public administration has been increasing incessantly. INCESSANTLY. Role of public administration has been increasing incessantly. Now use pronounce this INCESSANTLY.
Ma'am, is this the third point?
Third point. Okay, put a hyphen for that and then you write. Incessantly. Okay, has been increasing incessantly. It's regulatory, continue. It's regulatory, developmental. It's regulatory, developmental, promotional. Regulatory, developmental, promotional, and entrepreneurial. ENTREPRENEURIAL. Entrepreneur role. Okay, entrepreneurial responsibilities. It's regulatory, developmental, promotional, and entrepreneurial responsibilities have been multiplying. And the number of public personnels have gone up, increased. Okay, have gone up so much. Number of public personnels have gone up so much that it is difficult for the political executive. That is difficult for the political executive, legislature, the department itself. To exercise. Legislature, the department itself. The department itself to exercise control, to exercise effective control. Department itself means the superiors, okay? To exercise effective control over them. Okay. So, and the structural hierarchies. Next paragraph in that itself, a small line, 2 sentences you write. The structural hierarchies. In decision making. The structural hierarchies in decision making promotes red tapism. Structural hierarchies in decision making promotes red tapism. REDTAPISM. Separate word. Red tapism. You don't know what is red tapism? So inside bracket, if you don't know, you write unnecessary delay. Unnecessary delay in delivery of services. Unnecessary delay. You know, when you go to a government office, you'll know what is meant by unnecessary delay. Unnecessary delay in delivering of services. You go for some service, they will ask you to get signature from every person in the, even including the clerk inside the department, you have to get a signature, no? Or they will guide you to another department. First to go and meet them, take a signature, come here. This is what the situation when a person who has a motive of establishing business, you know, that time India was like a license Raj. You know, they are like a king, who are providing license to the private players. Private players has to run door to door in various departments. From one department to another department, they will send it. Okay, you came to us, go to first environmental ministry, take a signature, take the on-go certificate, come here. And you have to have this clearance, that clearance, this clearance. In the moment of clearing, his life will go. You know, so he has to wait such a long time, delayed. That is called red tapism. Okay, guiding from one department to another department. Now it is happening with respect to RTA. You just file an RTA. How many of you have that experience of filing an RTA in this class? Sometimes you are very lucky, you get it. You know, if you're asking a very nominal question, you will get the answer. But if that question is going to shake the base of the department, they will ask you to go to that department. You go like a roller coaster ride. Anna, you will experience the thrill when you are filing an RTA. It will take almost 2 years to reach your hand. Even then you will receive that this information cannot be parted with. So confidential information, we cannot share that. Then lack of coordination. For that, you write for excessive security, you write excessive security. Excessive security. Under that, you write, in our country, through our constitution itself, we have granted excess protection. In our country, through our constitution itself, we have granted excess protection to civil servants. Inside the bracket, you write Article 311. Okay, no need to write about Article 311 here. You just mention, for example, Article 311 is there. And refrain from, after complete, close the bracket and then write. And have you written till this? In our country, we have granted excessive protection to civil servants through constitution itself. Like that, we have written something. So inside the bracket, you write Article 311, then continue. Close the bracket and continue. And refrain from. And refrain, R-E-F-R-A-I-N, refrain from punishing them. Refrain from punishing them for the common lapses. In the performance of their duties. Okay, common lapses in the performance of their duties. And it is almost impossible to punish. And it's almost impossible to punish a civil servant. For his acts of, omission and commission. For his acts of omission and commission. Acts of omission and commission, full stop. Even there are no punishments prescribed for. Non-performance, even no punishments has been prescribed for non-performance or for low productivity. Non-performance or for low productivity, full stop. Okay. So I have given precisely for you under this topic. Every word has to be present when you are writing. So here in our system is like that only. Still now we have not improved. Even now, till now, the promotion, how it is happening in civil service? How it is happening? Promotion in civil service. Based on your performance? No. Till now we don't have that. Through seniority only we are promoting the officers. So what happens to performance then? There are some officers who perform, outstand everyone. They have extraordinary ability. You go to a college, you go to a school. If you're studying in an extraordinary manner, you can do 2 years, you can cross, you can jump 2 years in schools. You can jump 2 years in a college. You can do that. You have that, capability. If you have the capability and ability, you can complete your, that's why I told some students who doesn't have match the age limit. They have entered into the civil service, they enter and clear the civil service also. That much capability they do have, ability. But in respective to the civil service, what happens? After you enter the service, everyone are placed similarly only. Even though you perform very nicely, and some do not perform at all. Everybody on the basis of age only are promoted. Even the report, the annual report which is prepared by your own department does not carry the performance record at all. This officer is performing well, so grant him this, this important location, or promote him first instead of the person who is senior in rank. That person doesn't even know how to use the ICT tools. Nowadays, ICT is very important in order to bring transparency and also to improve accountability. It's a form of e-governance, but these people doesn't know how to do it, but they get promoted. So that is a major problem, major lacuna we are facing inside. the promotional process inside administration. And this is also a kind of motivation. No, when you work, you have to have some motivation. If you are performing very nicely, you do not get any credit, any applause for it. There is one magazine. Do you know that? Anybody get to cross that magazine called G Files? Even the UPSC chairmen will write article in that magazine. You get a chance to read that. And if there is any article which comes in that, just read it. G Files is one such magazine where all the ex-bureaucrats will express their opinion. Okay. So like whispers in the corridor, these types of articles will come. So when these G Files will select some officers, some bureaucrats, and they will give award. Some motivation is there, but the department is not recognizing the performance of the officer. That's how it is suggested long back by second ARC is there, no? And they gave a lot of suggestions. They also said that based on the performance, you give promotion to the officer. Still now we have not accepted it. Okay. So yes, then next one. Misinterpretation of role and obligation. Before that, legal judicial flaws, you write. Legal judicial flaws. Legal judicial flaws. Legal judicial flaws. In that, typhoon and write. The numbers and kinds of agencies. The numbers and kinds of agencies. Kind. K-I-N-D-S. Kinds of agencies. To ensure probity. The number and kinds of agencies to ensure probity. To ensure probity in public administration. Ensure probity in public administration have also been increasing continually. Continuously it is increasing. Like, for example, you take, for example, or for instance, anything you write CBA. No need to expand it, no? You know what it is, right? For instance, CBA, CBA, CVC, CBA, CVC, Lokayuktas. Lokayukta is the body, Lok Ayukta. Lokpal is there, no? Same way Lokayuktas are there. In some states, they do have. State Lokayuktas. Lokayuktas, no? Or do you pronounce it different way? Lokayuktas only. Lokayukta, state Lokayuktas, State Vigilance Commission or State Vigilance Department. State Vigilance Departments are coexisting, etc. You put etc. Even many more are there. Etc. are coexisting without an effective coordination among them. Are coexisting without an effective coordination among them. Without an efficient coordination among them. Okay. That's a major issue. Then the judiciary, continue that. Even the laws, first you write laws, even the laws which are existing. After this, put a full stop, then you write, even the laws which are existing. Even the laws which are existing are not clearly defined. Are not clearly defined. And there is lack of implementation issues. And there is lack of implementation issues. Okay. No proper implementation of the laws. Implementation issues. These types of issues we face related to law. Full stop. Then write, the judiciary is slow. The judiciary is also slow. The judiciary is also slow. And there are no, the judiciary is also slow. And there are no fast track courts, and there are no fast-track courts for, there are no fast-track courts for dealing with, there are no fast-track courts for dealing with cases of corruption. And there are no fast-track courts to deal with cases of corruption. Okay, full stop. Then misinterpretation of role. That point, misinterpretation of role. Okay, for that. Civil servants. frequently indulge in. Civil servants frequently indulge in. Civil servants frequently indulge in actions. Frequently indulge in actions that are. Frequently indulge in actions that are unethical. Frequently indulge in actions that are unethical and against public interest. And against public interest. Full stop and continue over a period of time. So it's a nature, it's a human tendency, okay, to do so. So it's not said by us. It is already said by Kautilya in the Arthashastra. He has mentioned that a person who is having honey pot in his hand or a spoon of honey will definitely, what he will do? He will put it in his tongue to taste it. If we see honey, we cannot simply say, no, you are very sour, so I am not going to touch you. We never do that. If something is honey, we have to taste it. No, so that's our tendency. That's natural ability of a human. So the same way, he is saying that if a person is in bureaucracy, in an administration, it is where the money is flowing. Money gets into the system through this way, through this gate, and money released into the system through this way, gate only. So when money is flowing inside the administration, administrators will definitely try to utilize for them their own benefit. It is a natural tendency. So they do it. But what happens? Over a period of time, put a full stop and write, over a period of time, comma, they get used to, over a period of time, comma, they get used to defining their roles. They get used to defining their roles and responsibilities. Over a period of time, they get used to defining their roles and responsibilities. Defining their roles and responsibilities in a parochial manner. Parochial, parochial. No, parochial means what? Narrow-minded way. So parochial manner, that is either self-centered. Parochial manner, that is either self-centered, self-centered, group-centered, self-centered, group-centered, or organizational-centered. Okay, or organization-centered. Okay. Then employees union. Put a hyphen and write employees union. Another impediment in the way of this employees union, put a hyphen, then write it's another impediment in the way of enforcing. It's another impediment in the way of enforcing discipline. In the way of enforcing discipline. In the way of enforcing discipline. The way of enforcing discipline and codes of conduct. The way of enforcing discipline and codes of conduct. And codes of conduct because it is a tendency of employee union to resist managerial actions. Okay, resist managerial actions against their members. Then corruption and subversion. Corruption. It put a hyphen, right? It is abuse of official authority. Corruption means what? It's an abuse of official authority for personal gain. It's an abuse of authority for personal gain. Personal gain. And now this corruption, abuse of authority for personal gain. And now this corruption has pervaded. The entire sphere of administration. entire sphere of administration in such a way that people started accepting people started accepting it people started accepting it as people started accepting it as a value of society, value of society, because now the socio-cultural context supports the socio-cultural context. Okay, now the socio-cultural context, even in questions in UPSC they would ask in the present socio-cultural context. These types of questions has already appeared twice or thrice. No, in this socio-cultural context, continue what I have said. Context supports the unidimensional growth of unidimensional growth of individuals, and in the process of supports the unidimensional growth of individuals, and in the process of generating wealth, and in the process of generating wealth, and in the process of generating wealth, comma, the means 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 hyphen ends. The means hyphen ends are there, no, means 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 hyphen, put a hyphen ENDS, ends. What does that mean? Means ends. One is teleology, one is deontology. Deontology always supports for means. Means what? The values are given importance. No matter what action you are committing is important here, but end means the result is important. Okay, so the means ends, continue, means ends issue has been sidelined. The means ends issue has been sidelined. Nowadays we are not considering it at all. Means ends issue has been sidelined. The society is only seeing how fast the other person is growing. No, both they try to compare with the other person. No, see, he is also of your same age. Now he's having 2 children. He's having his own house. He's having his own car. Then what happens? After 1 month, he get arrested also. Now, some way or the other, he is generating wealth. There was one person who is from some place, some advanced city. He is spending 6 lakhs per day. Expenditure is 6 lakhs for him. Then they got him. How you are spending 6 lakhs? People are noticing, no. They try to send some message to the concerned department or authority. They kept watch of him. Online fraud. 6 lakhs you are spending. This way you generated wealth. You own all the luxurious cars, 10 Persian cats. What is the use? Everything will go or vanish in one day, no. So that is how unidimensional growth is now supported. Nowadays people all has come to this mentality. So what? They are asking this question to the husband. The husband is in the same police department. Now the wife starts comparing with the other officers who are in the same rank. She asked that, see, he also joined along with you. He got promoted. He also, even though he is not promoted, he is having 5 to 6 houses. Luxury car. His children are going to, even he is subordinate to you. His children is going to international school. See, our children, they are going to government schools. Comparison. Then what you are trying to tell? You are trying to ask him to involve in corruption. You also corrupt, you also collect money from the people. You also go in the unethical way so that we will live a luxurious life. That is the main thing, no. So now they are only thinking about the outside appearance. Now society is considering only that. Okay. So that's how now people started involving in corruption. So for which topic we are reading? Corruption. So read it again for me. The entire thing, corruption and subversion. Hmm. sidelined, and the people starts involving in the process of competitive collaboration. The people starts involving in the process of competitive collaboration with public officials. Competitive people means what? Citizens started involving in the process of competitive collaborations with public officials for benefit maximization. For benefit maximization. Collaboration with public officials. Okay, competitive collaborations with public officials for benefit maximization. For benefit maximization. And results in transactional corruption. And results in transactional corruption. And results in transactional corruption. Okay. Inside the bracket, you write for transactional corruption if you want. Using tactics like speed money. The speed money should be in single quotation. Using tactics like speed money, comma, political pulls. All this should be in single quotation. Speed money, comma, political pulls to influence the public officials. To influence or interfere the duty of public officials. Okay. Duty of public officials. So in order to get their work done, they are using all these tactics to lure the public officials and may ask them to do something for the benefit of you. Okay. So this way people are trying to engage in corruption activities. And if you want definition for subversion, take that also. Under that, below next paragraph you write subversion. Subversion. Yes. Certain government departments or certain government servants, you write like that, certain government servants working in sensitive organizations. Certain government servants working in sensitive organizations. Sensitive organizations like ordnance factories, sensitive organizations like ordnance factories, atomic energy, ordnance factories, atomic energy, and defense forces, etc. Defense forces, etc. may pass on critical secrets to enemies. May pass on critical secrets to enemies. Critical secrets to enemies in exchange for pecuniary benefits. In exchange for pecuniary benefits. ORR. In exchange for pecuniary benefits, R. PECUNIARY. Pecuniary benefits. In exchange for pecuniary benefits, or for the sale of extraterritorial loyalty. Sale of extraterritorial loyalty. Okay, so subversion is also a form of corruption only. But subversion, we are mentioning legal tender? Information. It's a form of subversion only. You are passing the important information which is going on inside the government, which should not be released to the outsiders. You are just trading it for money. Okay, are you trading because of some favoritism towards some individual who belongs to your family members? It's also a form of subversion. So subversion is one such, everywhere it can happen. Here we also call this in private organization as insider trading or horse trading. Have you heard this name? Insider trading. Often it happens like that. Okay. Yes. Then political interference. Put hyphen last topic in this. Political interference. Right? For political interference. Yes. The behavior of politicians. The behavior of politicians, comma, who are part of the society part of the society has a demonstration effect. Okay, has a demonstration effect on civil servants. Has a demonstration effect on civil servants. Demonstration effect on civil servants. And the political leadership. And the political leadership. Political leadership, comma, whether in power or outside the power domain. The political leadership, whether in power or outside the power domain. And the political leadership, whether in power or outside the power domain, comma, is perhaps the single most potent influence. Is perhaps the single most potent influence on the, so single most potent influence on the mores, M-O-R-E-S, potent influence on the mores and values of citizens. Potent influence on the mores and values of citizens. Mores and values of citizens. Mores and values of citizens done. Second line, second paragraph you can write. It's like a moral value. A standard, no, which we set up. Standard which, every society comes up with certain norms. It's a form of norms, mores, moral standards, we can say. Then next paragraph, the political pressures imposed from above. The political pressures imposed from above also color the vision of administrators. 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 And because of this pressure from political bosses. Because of this pressure from political bosses, B-O-S-S-E-S. They used to mimic the administrative system as yes master system. Do you know that? There is another word for administrative system in India. Administrators are also called yes masters. Now, when some political people who hold that particular position, they ask or they guide or they say something, civil servant will always say yes only. S master. That's why this is called S master system. Okay. You don't have that courage to say no. Now, can you say before the face of an politician, you already know he's a gunda. Now he's sitting in the white dress. Now just go and say no. You will walk out from his office, but you cannot walk inside your life again. You will be only seen by your family members in the photo frame. Such a courageous officer. What to do? You put only garland. Nothing more. That type of thing is happening. Everybody is very fearful for that only, our life. That's important, no? The precious life. For that only we are here. We mainly do our duty and we have a goal. If we have life only, no. Without life, how will you have a goal? So don't write this in the paper and all. Don't write this in the paper, especially in your exam. Don't express this view, okay? Yes. Then where you left? Political bosses and no, read that line. The administrators is caught between the administrators is caught between the C-A-U-G-H-T, caught between the administrators is caught between the compulsion of hierarchy, caught between the compulsion of hierarchy, H-I-E-R-A-R-C-H-Y, compulsion of hierarchy and the obligation of duty. Compulsion of hierarchy and the obligation of duty. Okay, and the obligation of duty. Over. Done. So now we'll start with the philosophical part. I have already forwarded for you. The Greek philosophies has been forwarded. And whichever it's not done, I'll be doing it now and then. Okay. So just ask the management. I don't know what has happened. I will also ask. From your side, you ask. We'll start ethics we'll start from this in Vedic period. How ethics is. In Vedas, what is called as ethics or moral principles. Now, what is necessary only I'll give you, write as a formula or flowchart format. I'm going to do in that manner only. If you want, you have time, then you read everything. Huh? Whenever you take book, even in your yellow book, you will have topics like this. Ethics in Vedic period. So, there is a word called Rita. Okay, in Rig Veda. So, Vedas, how many Vedas are there? And which is the foremost Veda? According to the knowledge, that is called as Rig Veda. No. So, that's a word called Rita. Ancient history class over, no, for you? For few over, for few it is not over. Huh? For anyone, not over. Okay, good. So, that from this originated, this gave origin to two words called as doctrine of. These two emanated from Ratha, the doctrine of karma and doctrine of dharma. Doctrine of dharma. So, this is the major foundation for ethics during the Vedic period. All the four Vedas supported these two concepts, doctrine of dharma and doctrine of karma. They said that if a human is born, now everyone has been born here, you have to do your duty. There are certain duties which you have to perform. This will be again split into two. One is the universal duty. Another is personal duty. Stages of life. You have various stages. You cross various stages of life. Now you are in a student phase. Then you will become a grahastha. That means one who manages a household. Then you become vanaprastha. Nowadays no one is doing that vanaprastha and all. Sannyasa. If we are asking, they are saying all we are performing in grahastha only. Few days we are we are involved in family life. After some days, we get bored of our wife. We are like a sannyasi only in the family. Grahastha, in the grahastha itself, you are like a sannyasi. The thing is that previously it was performed in 4 stages. Okay, so that is ashrama. We say ashrama dharma. Stages of life. Okay. And another one is sadharana dharma. That means what it is? Universal duties. When you are born in this world, you have certain duties to be performed. Okay, like forgiveness, all these. There are some things which will be quoted. Even Manusmriti has come across some 10 universal duty to be performed by all individuals. Okay, so like this, there are 2 types of dharma. Dharma means duty. So as an individual, as a human being, you have certain duty to be performed. If you are not performing your duty, what happens? You get caught in the wheel of life and death. That is karma. Karma supports a wheel of life and death. That is called samsara. Samsara means transmigration of soul takes place. And then what happens? Automatically you are reborn, then die, then reborn, then die. And you are, as per the deeds which you have committed in your life, you will be born again. You will go into pain, suffering, or happiness as per the deeds you have committed. Then again you will be born. In that world you commit some sin, then again you are born. So this is called karma theory. So these two are supported by the Vedas. And Vedas is something which is speaking about. Have you taken down this? Done, no? After done, you tell me. We'll move to the next slide. So the basic foundation of ethics for this Vedas is this only. Okay, doctrine of karma and doctrine of dharma. And then have you done over? Okay. Then comes the formula. So Vedas supported God-oriented ethics. God-oriented ethics. What is God-oriented ethics? That means as a person, you have to stick to ceremonial duties. This is ethics according to them. Ceremonial duties. You should perform certain ceremonies, certain rituals. Okay? Certain rituals which you have to perform in order to achieve happiness, okay, in heaven, their afterlife. They're talking about happiness in heaven, not in earth. No. So you have to perform certain, you are to involve in certain those acts which will make you suffer now. But once when you die and go to heaven, no, not hell. When you go to heaven, you will enjoy happiness. That are called as rituals or ceremonial duties, which is already mentioned in the Vedas. If you take Vedas, they will be mentioning about all types of rituals and ceremonies to be practiced. So they are it's something called as God-oriented ethics. That is the main idea about Vedas. No, ethics and Vedas have a connection here. You need not read all the ideas inside Vedas. Just know what Vedas is saying. Huh? Have you taken down this? Let them complete. Okay, so you write ceremonial duties, to perform ceremonial duties, rituals and sacrifices like this. All these things has to be followed. Then come Upanishad. How you say? Upanishad. Then have you got over? Okay. Then came Upanishads. So this is not talking about happiness after life. No, afterlife happiness, they are not supporting. They are saying that as Vedas is supporting God-oriented ethics, this is Atman-oriented. The ethics of Upanishad, okay, is Atman-centric. What is Atman-centric? Soul-oriented. Soul. So here they are not considering about body, other external sacrifices or rituals which you have to perform. They said you are born, your soul is permanent. Try to liberate your soul from the body because soul is getting entangled in this world. It is there. You want happiness, you want pain, you want it more and more again. You are born again. So you are there, you are caught up in this wheel. So if you want to escape from this wheel, go to nirvana or moksha. This is otherwise called as moksha, no, liberation of soul. So this Upanishad ethics is talking about liberation of soul. So you should not go and commit like Burari Masu said, I am liberating my body from my soul. No such a nonsense. They are talking about penance, like a ascetic, like a monk. Okay, liberation of soul. You should not involve in happiness and pain in your life. When attachment, with attachment only all this comes, no, you are attached emotionally with all the other individuals. Because of that, you are undergoing suffering and pain. So liberate yourselves from that. So liberation of soul. That is why we call this as Atman-centric ethics. Or this is also called intellectualistic ethics. It supports intellectualistic ethics. And it does not support the sacrifices and rituals as suggested by Vedas. Okay, no rituals, no sacrifices is required in order to become or reach or follow ethics in your life or to reach God. So you have to liberate your soul from your body and the attachment of life through liberating from pain and happiness, and you automatically reach the Paramatma. You are Atman. Paramatma is somewhere, the supreme soul. So you will become a supreme soul. You will become one among the supreme soul. One with. Have you taken down this? This is one formula. Next formula. This much is enough about Upanishad. Then Gita. Gita means what? Bhagavad Gita. I am talking about Bhagavad Gita. What Bhagavad Gita has said. It's up to, every day you will hear Bhagavad Gita. You're reading Bhagavad Gita. What Bhagavad Gita has said? Focus on the deed which you have to do. Don't, when you are planting a tree, You should not wait for the fruits beared by this tree. You just concentrate on planting the trees only. You commit your actions. That's it. So this Gita is talking about Brahmanyana. Yes, Brahmanyana. Everything has a caste. Okay, so that's how they said that as an individual, the Gita supported an ethics of liberation. Again, they're coming to liberation. Liberation, that is moksha. Okay, here again they supported the ethics of liberation, that is attaining moksha. And they said that when you are a soul, you are liberating from your body, it will reach Brahmanyanam. Okay, the supreme soul. This is the idea of Gita, supreme soul. Okay, you have to realize the supreme reality, realization of supreme reality, that is Brahmanyanam. Okay, realization of supreme reality. How will you do this? How will you realize the Brahmanyana? How you can realize it? Then you write that. How you will realize the Brahmanyana? Through a life of righteous action. Through a life of righteous action. Okay, through a life of righteous action, you will achieve supreme bliss. That is Brahmanyana. Okay. Right of righteous action. Through a life of righteous action, you will achieve this Brahmanyana. Brahmanyana is something is called the supreme soul, a supreme bliss, supreme happiness. Okay, the supreme soul will end up in supreme happiness. That's why in order to achieve the supreme happiness, we have to involve in those righteous actions in our life. Okay. Right. Then, now we'll come to ethics of Hindu tradition. Over this one, ethics of Hindu tradition. Although this seems very much boring and all, if your answers is having these types of points in it, then your answers looks differentiated from others. The way you use it is important. Unnecessarily, what they do, they will give one book for this philosophical part. You sit and read everything, nothing will be in your mind, everything looks similar. When you go to exam hall, you don't know what to write for that. You will write Gita, you will connect it with the Upanishad and write the Upanishad philosophy under Gita. Instead, you make it as a small formula, read it again and again. The core idea of that concept comes into your mind. Same time, when you're writing your answers, when you're substantiating your answer, you have to use as it is said in Gita. As it is said, deontological ethics long back was said by so-and-so person. That way you are starting an introduction part, it will be far better than others. That's how why I'm teaching here also in the class. Otherwise, I will just forward some notes to you. Read it. Every teacher will do that. Because it's very boring subject, except few. So what you want to insert, I am teaching here. Rest, if you are reading, it's your ability. You collect some more points. So how we will start with the ethics of Hindu tradition. Okay, that's a step-by-step process we are going to do for Hindu tradition alone. First, anybody want to say some opinion, something? Transmigration of soul. Hindu tradition believes in transmigration of soul. What is transmigration of soul? Louder. Soul is immortal. Body is mortal. The one you possess now is not you. The soul which is there inside of you is eternal. It lives on. So transmigration of soul, that they called as samsara. Samsara. That is called cycle of birth and death. It happens. Continuously, you are inside this world. You born, you die. You born, you die. Like a cyclic process, it keeps on going. So they believe in transmigration of soul. So they say that it is natural that a human soul will never die. So it keeps on taking many forms. It keeps on surviving in this world. Right. Second concept which they believe is doctrine of karma. These two are associated with each other. Law of What law of conservation of energy? Huh? You are conserving the energy in the form of soul. Huh? Then scientifically it is called like this. Huh? So what is karma? So both are associated concept only. Without karma, transmigration of soul is not going to happen. And without transmigration of soul, karma will not exist. So they said that, see, there is a cycle of birth and death, you know, and this keeps on continuing. Why this keeps on continuing? Because you are involving in some deeds, karma. You cannot simply sit like an idol, without action. You have to act. You have to perform a certain act. When you are performing certain act, there will be some benefits. There will be some losers. There will be pain. There will be happiness. So what happened? It repeats on. So that's called transmigration of soul. This too goes into association with each other, and this is also supported by Hindu tradition. And then comes supreme goals. This we have not discussed. So this we will discuss in Hindu tradition elaborately. Supreme goals of Hindu tradition. So they are saying there are 4 goals which has to be considered as supreme goals. Yes, anyone? What are the 4 goals? Moksha, very good. Artha and 1 dharma. So there are 4 supreme goals. One is dharma, the duty. The foremost is duty. Duty an individual has to do. And in this only, in the Hindu tradition, under the Hindu tradition only, they completely differentiated this into 2. In the name of Swadharma. So dharma is called as Swadharma. Swadharma means what? Dharma means an individual's duty. That is called Swadharma. Okay, Swadharma, that means individual's duty. If an individual has to do a duty, there are 2 duties he has to follow. One is Ashrama Dharma. Dharma in various stages of life. Duty in various stages of life is called as Ashrama Dharma. Okay, various stages of life. So this various stages of life means there are 4 stages of life. Okay. This includes 4 stages of life. What are those 4 stages? Brahmacharya. What is Brahmacharya's duty? To maintain the vow of celibacy. Apart from studying, the foremost duty of a Brahmacharya is to maintain the vow of celibacy. You know this, what it means? Okay. So, and they have to pursue Vedas. At that time, Vedas. Knowledge means Vedas. They will read Vedas. That is the duty of Brahmacharya. Okay, then comes Grihastha. So when a person has read 1 Veda, read means not reading. As I said, no, taking polity book, scanning from one page to another page in 1 day, saying I have completed reading. To your father, you go and then he will give nice slap. During those days, you have to master that. 1 Veda, you have to master it. You cannot simply say, I have completed reading 1 book, marry me. At that time, after completing reading 1 Veda, you are excelled in that field. That means now you can marry. You can enter into next stage. That is Grahastha. Okay. So here, Grahastha means householder. Here they will check 2 things, whether the person is maintaining celibacy and has completed reading Veda, at least 1 Veda. Now, you can enter Grahastha, family life. And when you bear children, and the children bear children, grandchildren, no. And what happens? You will see wrinkles in your skin. And the hair turns white. Nowadays, not like that. Even at 25 years of age, has turned white, no. For many people and all, it's a style also. So what happens? In that case, you have to become Vanaprastha. You have to leave for forest. You have to leave to forest. Nowadays, we don't find forest also. We don't follow this system also. Vanaprastha. We already has destroyed all forest, and nowadays the forest dwellers are coming inside our city, and they are having a good collaborative relationship with us. So Vanaprastha.
this, when your skin sees wrinkles and when you see white hair, you have to do this duty. Vanaprastha, leave your family, you have to enter the forest. In the forest, you will live a simple life. Okay, not an ascetic life. Once this ends, you will enter the last phase that is called sannyasi. Sannyasi. Who is sannyasi? Ascetic, a wanderer. He will never have family. He should never have any attachment. You know, he should live as sadhu, not like Nityananda, who is enjoying, is owning a island. And he's saying, I am Shiva, Shiva is me. Not this Shiva, I'm saying the Lord Shiva. And Nityananda sitting there in the get-up of Lord Shiva, having all this Sulaidam, what you call, Trishul, coming in front of Bhaktas and saying, I am Lord Shiva. Like this, lot of sadhus are there, not this type of ascetics I am talking about. Those people who lead a simple life, they don't have any possession with them. They don't even have food. So if they get, they will eat or they will not eat. Sannyasi, the wanderers, the monks. So this type of life has to be led by the people. So these are the 4 duties to be performed by an individual. If he performs this duty, that is called ashrama dharma. And it is said in Hindu tradition, this is ethics according to them. Then comes sadharana dharma. That means the universal duties to be performed by an individual. Universal duties like acquiring knowledge, okay, then forgiveness, love, sharing. All these are some of the universal duty which has to be performed by an individual if he is born as a human being. As a human being, you have certain duty to the world, not to your home. Okay, that is called as sadharana dharma. Okay, and that another thing in here, varna ashrama, we otherwise call this as varna ashrama dharma. We combine it or sometimes we split it. Varna ashrama dharma means what? Duties based on your varna system. It was brought by the Vedas. Vedas started it. Then in Hindu tradition, still now we are practicing it. No. So varnas means based on the colors. Not only that, there are 3 things through which they identify the varna, classify. What are that? Anyone? Profession. The varna means it is based on 3. One is guna. Second is birth. Third is profession. Based on this, they will decide, okay, what is your varna and what is your duty you have to perform. So what is guna? Yeah, attributes you possess. Okay, there are 3 types of gunas. One is sattva guna. Sattva guna is the topmost, it is purity. Second, rajas. It's something which is called virility. And third, tamas. No, tamas only no. Tamas means darkness. So based on this, the attributes you possess, as well as the birth, where you are born. Whether you are already born in a lower status or you are born in a Brahmin family. The varnas which you have now. What are the 4 varna system? Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishnava and Sudra. So they will see your birth, from which you are. Profession. What profession you are carrying out? Whether you are a teacher, at that time teachers are the highest superior in the superior profession. Now only they are not considering it, except at least in North India it is good. In South India and all, after the self-respect movement, nowadays teachers are fearing of students. Students are not fearing of teachers. So this way it has turned down. But previously they considered the topmost dignified profession is teacher profession only. Still now many countries are only paying highest salary to the teachers. Many countries, Asian countries also, Western countries also. So profession, if one who is taking a teacher profession, he should be a Brahmin only. In that days, it is that case is like that. Only the Brahmin can read Vedas and teach Vedas. A Sudra who is born in a Sudra family, they said there is mobility, social mobility. Vedas even prescribed it. There can be a social mobility. It's not a social stratification we can follow. Social mobility is also possible. A person who is born in the lowest varna, Sudra, can become a Brahmin. But practically, it is not accepted. We do not practice we do not practice it. Theoretically, it is an utopian concept. Still there, it's in the paper. We are not following it. Why? We are not able to accept it. A person who is born in a lower caste, a Shudra, who possesses Sattva character, a pure character, and who's able to dominate Vedas, who are able to read Vedas and understand Vedas and preach Vedas, is not accepted as a Brahmin. He cannot take Upanayana. What is that? Thread wearing ceremony. Now they say that we have to wear thread. If we are a Brahmin, only Brahmins have that authority to wear a thread and no others. So this is the system which they categorize people on the basis of Varna. But it remains as a utopian concept only. We are not practicing the social mobility. Okay. Virility. V-A-R-I-L-I-T-Y. What does that virility means? Anyone? It's a kind of character where, I can say the mixture of both the pure and like a Kshatriya type of character. Just refer it, virility. Yes. So like this, you can take down, these are some of the ethical concepts which are there, which are given as a supreme goals of Hindu tradition. Okay. And apart from that, there is one more thing which is Hindu tradition is supporting. That is supreme goals, the supreme rituals. Still now we are practicing it. Huh? Are you or not? Most of us try to practice it. No. Supreme rituals. Rituals. What is that rituals? Huh? When a child is born. A naming ceremony. Even now some community practice everything. The moment the girl get married to a boy, the child is conceived. That also is a ceremony. Then the child is born, child naming ceremony, taking the child to a sun ceremony, eating first food ceremony, piercing the earlobe ceremony. And then again the child grows up, each and every stage you have a ceremony, a ritual to be performed. Then marriage comes. You dance along with all people in the marriage, happy. Now it's my second stage of my life, dancing. Everything goes completes. Again, everything, your child is born, ceremonies, then funeral rites. Everybody will dance except you. That's the last ceremony, it's performed in your life. So, anyway, you're going to end up in that only. Starting from the birth, when everyone becomes happy. And again, everyone becomes happy when you leave. Okay, my God. The demon has left the world. Now I am free bird. Some people are happy, some people are sad. Depending on our character. Depending on the way we behave, people, accepts it. So this is some of the ethical codes or ethical principles which are depicted in our Hindu tradition, which is followed by us till now. Okay, done? Have you taken down some notes of all these things? Yes. Now take the case study. We have some time, no? 5 minutes are there. 5 minutes is there, no? Or over? Have I taken extra time? Over. So what is about this clock then? Now, which one I have to follow? My phone is showing different time. My watch is showing different time. Here there is different time. There is different time. So which is the perfect one? This one only.
Internet time is perfect.
Internet time is perfect. Please change that one. Change the clock time, because teachers will always note there only. So that's why sometimes you get overtime. You can change it, or only management will do it. Only management, Okay. Then thank you all. We'll meet again.